It's a Rolling Stones, but most importantly, it is Unlock the Middle's flagship show. We're ready here, rock and roll with you, along with Mick Jagger, Josh Tobat, Park Principal Memorial Pathway Academy in Garland, ISD, Garland, USA. Ready to rock with you. You know what? We're about to hit that Christmas break, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We got to keep on sharpening those tools, whatever tools you have, because you know what? Tomorrow, Monday, they're coming. Whether you're ready or not, they're coming. So let's get together. Let's learn from each other. If you're watching this show on the rebroadcast, please like it and share it. Spread that out there. Get those algorithms going because you know what? We're only stronger together. So if you're in Hawaii or you're in Alaska, whether you're in Maine or Florida or anywhere in the 48 middle, we need you part of this conversation because you know what? They are coming on Monday and we need to learn from each other. What do you think about that, Dean Packard?
They are coming on Monday. We get super excited for Sunday nights. As always, Josh Tovar, we bring on people from around the country with personalities that just ignite our capacity personally to make us a little better with what we do. And we're not going to disappoint tonight. Again, my name is Dean Packard, one of the co-founders of Unlock the Middle, and I absolutely love Sunday. So glad you're with us. Make sure you do retweet, reshare, do all the little things to make us all a bit better. So Josh, happy Sunday to you. Anything good going on? What's going on with you? Anything new?
Everything good. You know what? Just finishing off our Christmas cards. I like to share. Hey, educator out there, you selling out Christmas cards to your kids? You better do that. You know, that's how you connect with them kids. Your hand might be hurting a little bit, but you know what? That's how you connect with them. And I'd rather spend time writing cards, Dean Packard, than discipline issues. And you know what? If you connect with them kids, it will avoid all the toxicity and noise that's out there. But yeah, I'm doing fabulous. And hey, let's remember, we're part of the Fantastic Four. And soon we're going to have a show with Principal Cafele. So Sean Hurt, Chica Houston, Jefe Principal Cafele, part of the Fantastic Four. But that's enough about me because you know what? I'm the abacus guy. I use a protractor and my yellow pad, but you know what? I hear there's something going on out there that is way ahead of those things, and we brought the right guest to give us a little bit of knowledge to make sure we're prepared.
Why don't you give a little bit of an introduction to Alana here while I try to bring her in from backstage?
You know what? I feel kind of at a loss for words because you guys were talking about Google and then you're talking about Microsoft and you're talking. I'm an abacus guy. Remember, I'm the caveman guy. This is the knowledge right there. We need her. She's a brand new author, supported by a lot of educators. Some people you might know they're Jimmy Casas, promoting everything because you know what? He knows the importance it is to be educated on this new technology, AI. So we brought one of the best to the show for you, America.
I love it. Welcome, Alana. Welcome to the show. How are you? And super stoked that you're with us tonight.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I've been going back and forth with you guys for a while, and I'm really excited to finally meet you.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's get this party started. Let's talk about the origins of how you got to where you are today. Let's talk about that trajectory, that growth, and you know how that connective piece goes back to the field of education.
So I started off as a childhood educator, and then I got my first master's as an educational technology specialist. And then I went into more of that role in the ed tech field. And then I most recently graduated with my degree in leadership, educational leadership. And now my role is really merging all three of those together, education, technology, and leadership. So now I am the educational technology director and data protection officer of a school district just north of New York City. And I also am on the board of NICEGATE, which is like the New York affiliate of ISTE. And then other things that got me to where I am today. I never thought I wanted to be an author. I never really thought that was something that I aspired to be. And when AI came out, I thought, well, originally I said, I think maybe the tech people understand this, but I think that school leaders don't really understand how this is going to impact education. So I was writing what I thought was like a guidebook, well, you've never been to like Italy, Dean, but if you were to go to Italy, you might need a little guidebook to help, let you know what you need to do while you're there. So I was trying to make a guidebook about generative AI for leaders. And then I pitched it to Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, this is not a guidebook. This is a book. It's not for school leaders. It's for everyone. You need to rewrite it through the lens of all educators, and you need to write more. So I never aspired to be an author, and now here I am. Thanks to Jimmy.
Oh, man, that's good stuff right there. Outstanding. Josh.
Hey, Alana, just real quick, let's dig a little bit deeper about yourself. How were you as a student in high school? How were your achievements out there? And most importantly, how did the advice and the influence of your parents help you throughout your work even to today?
That's really funny. Recently I did a talk called The Game of Education, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted my theme to be. And I dug through myself as a student, and I tried to figure out who I was as a student. And I found that a lot of the issues from my past as a student really closely resemble the issues today with AI. It just now it's accelerated, it's faster and easier. My mom always said to me, as long as you're trying your hardest, that's all that matters. That was like the slogan in our house. As long as you tried your hardest. My brother was not a very good student. He barely graduated from college. But in terms of when you look at what is success, and you say, is success means that you get A's or not? I've been really contemplating that. And I think in a world where AI can really produce an essay for us in seconds, we need to really rethink what skills are important for students to be successful in the real world, like today, right now. So I think I've been really reflecting on that. I was a really good student. I got A's. I have 2 4.0s out of my 3 degrees. But I also, when I really reflect back, I noticed that I was what I'm coining an academic parrot. I really just was like, what does my teacher want to hear? And that's what I'm going to give them instead of thinking outside the box, which I do in my real life. So I don't know if my journey as a student reflects my journey as an adult or human. Maybe I'm not the best person to ask.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool that you recognize that and you're self-reflective enough to be able to tie those two worlds together. If you circle back a little bit and you think about this a little deeper, like who was the person or who has inspired you throughout your career, and who currently is your motivation now to continue to build your own personal capacity, to continue to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, to make you even stronger within the confines of what you do now?
I think it's intrinsic motivation. I've learned that when you feel uncomfortable, that's when you grow. And I've really been pushing myself this year to into all different kinds of situations where I've been learning and growing and reflecting. And I really think it's intrinsic. And I think that's what I try to do to my own teachers, is help them intrinsically like reflect on themselves and find areas that they want to grow on. And I think unless you want to put in the work, you're not going to do it unless you want to.
Great answer.
And just before we keep going, hey, greetings to Principal Cafe Le Jefe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on the show today. You know what you mentioned earlier, Alana, that you started putting your book together as a guide for AI for cavemen like me.
Yeah.
So you're talking to people like me. I'm not joking, guys. I still use a yellow pad. I've done this for 32 years. All right, it's kind of hard for me to shift, but you're writing it for. I'm your audience. I'm your target audience for this.
You were, yeah.
So talk to me specifically. What ignited that? What were you working with people like me? Were you working with those AP4 teachers, IB teachers, senior teachers that you said, hey, the kids are cheating? What ignited or what sparked you to write this book?
I think for me, in my previous role, I supported 48 school districts. So I've seen a lot of everything from Google to Microsoft districts, from large districts to small districts. I've been with super tech savvy people and not so tech savvy people. And I think for me, when the pandemic happened, I saw this catalyst for change. And then I quickly saw people go back to the way things were. And for me, AI, it's not about the AI. Like, yes, it is, but it's not really. I think that education needs to change and catch up to where we should be. And I really just felt like AI was hopefully going to be the thing that like made it stick. And it's more about, I think, like rethinking assessment, right? Like rethinking teaching, learning, and rethinking assessments. In a world where AI can produce the end product for you, you really need to focus on the learning process. And these are things that we've we've been studying them. There's data out there to support these things. And I think for me, it's just AI was a catalyst to help bring us to where we should be. And I'll call it 2024 because it's basically 2024 now, to where we should be in 2024.
So what do we say to these teachers who think that AI is going to take away their jobs, and all of a sudden, we're going to have this total seismic shift in education. I mean, AI is a tool, and it's a tool that's not going to go away. So we have to make sure that we look at it that way. But so what do you actually say to those teachers who say that?
Yeah, so it's funny because I say, well, let me just go back to the U.S. Department of Education. They released this report, AI, Artificial Intelligence in the Future of Teaching and Learning. I think that's what it's called. And they said that AI will not replace teachers. So I just want to let everyone know the U.S. government said that. But what I always say is like AI, it may or may not take your job. I'm not going to say if it will or won't. But someone who uses AI probably will take your job because they're just going to be less burnt out than you. Like how if you in the US Department of Education report, I actually put it in the book. Let me see if I could find it. They had a report that showed that like 49% of a teacher's time is spent in front of children, and the rest of their time is spent doing other administrative tasks. So if you use AI and you could save 8 hours currently right now with the tools that exist, 8 hours a week, you're going to have so much more time to invest on the relationships you have with students. You're going to be less burnt out. You're going to be a happier person. So someone who uses it will just be a better teacher and happier and less burnt out than you. So I think I encourage everyone to use it just to help save them time and help make them less burnt out, really.
How do you, and I'm going to take that one step further, if I could,
Yeah.
Josh, before you answer your question. How do you entice teachers? What's the easiest onboarding process to get used to AI? You know, we talked about, I said, hey, throw a lesson plan down, write a couple things down that you want AI to spit out
Yeah.
for you. I'm in a vocational technical high school. You want to build a shed with kids, put in the dimensions, put in what you have, and let us spit it all out. Talk to me, what would be the easiest connective onboarding process for teachers?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you have to do, put it in their hands, because I think once they see it and feel it, it's like as a school leader, you have a lot of initiatives that you need to roll out, and then you need to make sure that if you're in a state with the unions, that the union supported and the teachers buy into your initiatives. And getting teacher buy-in is one of the hardest things, and I found with this, it's actually been one of the easiest things. What I did in my own district was I always like to empower my teachers. And what I do is I pick a couple of them that are doing really great things, and I'll work with the principal, and I'll get a faculty meeting, and I'll have the other teachers rotate through rooms, 10 minutes in each room. One was lesson planning, and the teacher was like, look, this is how I use it for lesson planning. We made this copy and paste prompt, and all they had to do is fill in their subject area, their grade level, the unit they're teaching, and whatever else. We put in the prompt, and I can share all of this with you if you want. And we had them copy it and paste it. So within 10 minutes, they walked out with a lesson plan. Then the next one was about image generation. And I do a lot with image generation with student writing. And I could talk about that when we jump into the student side. And we showed unit projects, what classes were doing, everything from like third grade to foreign language to middle school. So just giving them little bite-sized pieces that are digestible and having them try it and walk away with it. And I think you just need to put it in their hands, and you need them to see it, because once they have that light bulb moment, that's like how I got the image on the book. So like this image is really a galaxy. If you look closer, there's a galaxy inside the light bulb. And in education, we know what the light bulb means, right? That light bulb moment. But I feel like with AI, the first chapter is called The Universe Unveiled, and it's like a universe bursting with possibilities, and you could do almost anything with it, and you just need to get people to that light bulb moment.
Thank you very much.
So let's dig a little bit deeper in that light bulb moment.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is a reality. A lot of the people that are coming into us right now, we've had a lot of podcasts that they're coming in alternative certification. There are other industries, okay? And they're coming in to the field. They didn't take the traditional steps that we did, the student teaching, the
Right.
observation hours. Not only that, but you still have a lot of seasoned people like myself and that guy up there, that guy right there. We have a lot of seasoned people that are out there that, you know what, we adapted to the closures, but then automatically the system went back to what we did before
I
it.
know.
Automatically.
I
Not to
know.
say-
It makes me so upset. It
Okay,
makes me so
so let's get into this. How can we hook our team members in? First of all, a large majority are surviving the one teaching 101 right now, since we still have vacancies. I don't know about you, Dean. I still have one vacancy, and it's December.
We're
All
full
right.
now. Thank God.
Are you?
Yeah.
But that, we've heard this. That's not the norm across the United States. So
Yeah.
you have all these vacancies. We don't have enough substitutes. We have seasoned people that are tapping out. How do you provide that information? How do you hook those team members to come in and use AI?
Well, I think you need to put it in front of their face. Like, you need to dedicate a faculty meeting if you're an administrator, or a superintendent's conference day, and make them have hands-on experience. But you should show them the benefits of it, like how you can use it for personalized learning. Things that my special ed department always complains about is IPs and IP goals. Don't put, my number one rule, the only rule I have, is don't put any personalized information in. So no names, anything that's identifiable, do not put in AI. Because also, something to keep in mind is we're training the models. As we're using AI, we're training it. So don't put anything in there that you wouldn't want it to spit back out to someone else later. That's the only rule I have. But using it as a thought partner, bouncing ideas off of it, because sometimes we're working at odd hours or on a Sunday, and someone else doesn't want to collaborate on a Sunday. So use it as a thought partner. Use it for personalized learning. Come up with your class activities. Come up with your with differentiation. Like, it's hard for us to make a really engaging, fun lesson for our students and reach every student where they are. That's really hard. That's really hard. But if you come up with the concept and bounce ideas off, and this is what I always tell people, the final thoughts should be with you. You're an experienced leader. You're an experienced teacher. You know what works. You know what doesn't work. AI is giving you ideas, but the final version has to be reflective of your thoughts, your ideas, and your background and knowledge, because it's not an expert in what you are an expert in.
It's an expert in process. What I like, and when you stop and think about it, so it's a tool. It augments. Methodology can never be replaced. I always say that to every staff member that we have. Okay, you own your methodology, but take this tool and gain time back and gain efficiency back. Definitely a win-win.
Hey, Dean, real quick. Hey, welcome, JT, future guest on Unlock the Middle. Welcome on board. Thank you for being here tonight, along with Jefe.
Yep, good catch right there, Josh. Good catch. Hey, let's spin this in another direction right now. Let's talk about AI and supporting learning in the writing process. How do you know what? I look at my English department and I say to myself, okay, they're all worried about plagiarism. They're all worried about them doing this. So I've always said to myself, you know what? Put pencil to paper in class, and you'll always have them working on their skills. But how does AI help support?
Yes. So when ChatGPT first came out, I have cousins that are one's in middle school and one's in high school. And then I have another one that's a senior in high school and one that's in college. And I always talk to them about these things. And they were telling me that there was this tool, which I've never even heard of it before. She said it, called Quillbot. And it was basically literally AI and Grammarly's AI. We've been using these things forever. And they were telling me that it really actually helps them become stronger writers, because they can see how someone, even though AI is not a someone, it's a something, someone else would write the same thing. And then they're like, oh, I didn't think about writing it like that. Oh, I didn't think about writing it like that. So it actually helped them realize where they were. And have you guys used Grammarly at all? Do you guys use it?
Sure.
Well, you should use it, Josh. Highly recommend. It's everywhere on your computer. It's if you're in a Word document or a Google document, or you're writing an email, anywhere you're writing a tweet on your laptop, and it's giving you grammar corrections and spelling corrections right in anywhere you're writing, and it is AI. And I feel like we never really thought that we were using AI, but we were. So to help the writing process. Okay. So the people that come to me and talk to me about cheating, I always say to them, like, if you were really assessing the writing process, then you wouldn't be worried about cheating. Because if you were watching the writing piece develop, you had a graphic organizer, you don't even maybe do that in high school, but there's different drafts and there's check-ins, and there's maybe you have more meetings with the students while they're writing. You give them feedback. You watch the writing progress. You're not going to think that they're cheating if you're watching it grow with time. But also what I think that a lot of people don't realize with the writing process is if you take writing and put it through an AI image generator, that has been life-changing for me and my teachers in the writing process, because we could tell students like, oh, you need more details, or oh, this isn't descriptive enough. But then they just think that you're being critical of them. But if you put it through AI, and AI is not creating a visual representation of your writing the way that you imagined it in your mind, then you can now partner with the student and say, okay, it's not creating an image that you have in your mind. Let's work together and let's see how we together can improve your writing to make a better image. And we've seen our students' writing transform just by popping an image in image generators. It's been pretty incredible.
I guess, like you said, we use it whenever we get autocorrects on our social media and all that is happening. So I got you on that. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing. It's the fear of the unknown, just like when the lockdown happened.
Yeah.
A lot of the team members that were on in our home broke down because they were very traditional and they had to learn Canva, they had to learn
Yeah.
creating the folders. I mean, they literally broke down emotionally
I know.
because they felt, oh, I don't know how to do this. And you know what? The younger ones showed them that it was not gonna bite back. It was not gonna fill them full of venom. And like my wife, she works for the district, and she uses AI to do those sheets, like everything that's on data. She converts into, I don't, I can't describe it, but she uses AI to fill in those codes to create those sheets that are used across the district. But I have not even opened one. I knowingly have not opened one. So we have within the same household diametrically opposed ideas and
But
thought
you
process of
still
AI.
have not used AI to this day.
Negative.
What?
Negative, ma'am.
We need to
Negative.
change this. We need to change
I
this.
don't lie. I'm sorry. I don't lie. I'm letting you know right now.
No,
I have not needed it in my life
you
for
haven't thought you
observations.
needed it. You haven't
Well,
thought you needed it.
exactly. Exactly. You see, I'm your audience. Does that make sense? I'm
Yeah.
not as Mr. CTE high school here. I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
my scope of our campus are kids from Vietnam, Africa, El Salvador, Honduras that don't know English.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about you, because this is exciting. If you ever have to do like a faculty meeting or something, do you do those? You do meetings with your teachers? You can put in your ideas for a meeting and it can make it really engaging, come up with like quick little activities when they walk in, or you could take your ideas for your meeting and just like make an outline, and it will make a whole slideshow for you based on what you put in. You don't even need to do anything. You just need to put in a bulleted list.
Oh, you see, this is my question right there. And perfect. This segues into
Yeah.
the question. Hey, the boss educators here. Shika Houston, Fantastic Four is here. Who's Antoniela is here. Thank you for joining us tonight. But you see,
But I
that's
also have one thing for you too. If you have to write, like we've had some sensitive things happen in our school, and writing that email to parents could be really hard sometimes when it's just like a sensitive thing, and you have to take the emotions out of it, and AI can help you do that. So
God. Oh no, God, I love that.
yeah.
Okay, you see, my question to you is going to be this. Hey, and Shika, yes, I still rent my movies at Blockbuster with AI. Okay,
You guys, come on.
it's an inside joke there, Alana. Look, a lot of people think that it's cheating.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you see, even my mindset, if I put there in my work, my
Yeah.
thought process, and you spit it out, yes, I'm the first one to tell you, I feel I'm cheating. I feel the
Oh,
computer is telling me or rearranging my thoughts. And
okay.
so, how can you remove that block from a lot of people, especially senior AP teachers?
Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, so the reality is, when I ask this question, do you use AI? Most people, not you, say yeah, I use it. Most people do. So I'm like, if you would use in your work, let's think about this. The student's about to graduate in the real world. Our job as educators is to prepare students for success. That's our job. Our only job is for them to be successful when they graduate. If they are going to be using it, which is a fact, 100% of them will, then that's our job to prepare them to be successful. A lot of schools are blocking it or saying we can't use it. And I think for me, that is causing a larger digital divide or a larger gap, because the students that have their own phones or have their own laptops are going to use it anyway, whether we want them to or not. And the students that only have the device that we issue them, they will be blocked and they're not going to have access. Or if we're not teaching them how to use it the right way, then they're going to be using it the wrong way. So that's our job, is to prepare them. But now going back to your question, how do we do it without making it cheating? I think that the thoughts always have to start with the user and then end with the user. I say it's a great first draft, and then you have to make it your own. And it should always sound exactly like you, the final product. And I wrote a whole section of my book of how I used it. It's called My Journey. And my own teachers, I asked a couple of them to read it. They're like, I don't understand how you use AI to write this book because it sounds literally like you're speaking to me. It sounds like your voice. So I think for me, my writing process was interesting. I did a lot of dictation. I do a lot of dictation in my writing, just even all the time. And then I run it through an AI, and I always tell it to keep the same voice. And it gives me ideas I didn't think of. And I'm like, ooh, I like that. I like that. I like that. And the way that the way that I wrote about it in the book was I called it a curator. You're curating ideas, what resonates, what doesn't. But in a child-friendly term, it's like, I call it like a DJ. They're like picking the beats that resonate with them, making like a mixtape, right? So something they might be like, oh, that's great. Something they might not think is great. But another thing that we need to learn and that we need to teach them is that there's a lot of bias, there's a lot of discrimination, there's a lot of hallucinations in there. So just like we use to teach media literacy, we really need to teach AI literacy. So if you are not using it with your students, they are not going to know what to look out for. So it's our job before they graduate to teach them how they should use it. And one of the rules we always have is that they should include the link to the chat with their assignment so we can supervise and see how they use it with their assignment.
You see, right now you just said a bunch. I'm sorry, Dean. Caveman
No,
needs to
no,
talk
no.
real quick. You just said a bunch of stuff that I can guarantee you that 90% of the country doesn't know where the Ukraine is. 90% of the country does not know where Palestine is. Okay, and it's all over the media. Let alone all the verbiage that's out there to connect it with the field that we're in. Now, real quick,
Let's jump back to this one here. Where's Principal Cafeles?
Principal Cafella, yeah.
Yeah, let me see right here.
Can you show that?
Yeah, I will right now.
Hey, Dean, make sure we get rid of that spam.
Yep. So this is where Principal Cafella is asking, how do you use AI as a leadership consultant?
So I also have a podcast called The Generative Age, same as my book title. The podcast came first, the book came second. And I just interviewed this headmaster in the UK. They created a leadership chatbot, and it's trained in all like leadership policies and leadership papers, and they call it a second head over there. I think that's a thought partner. That's what we call it here in the United States. But if what they had given it a lot of human characteristics, and then they went backwards and took away the human characteristics. That's irrelevant. Going back to how a leader can use it. If you have, something like ChatGPT or Bard or Bing it's not trained on exactly what we're looking for. It's very broad. It's like the wild, wild west of everything that's out there in the internet. We're going to start to see AI, large language models, that are more narrowed down to what we're looking for. That's one that they created. So their school is called the Cottesmore School. It's called Abby, ABI. They have a leadership chatbot. So you can maybe try that out. I'm not going to say that that's going to be the perfect one for you long term. Now, OpenAI with ChatGPT, you can start to build your own parameters and your own chatbot. We're going to start to see a lot of that. So like Khan Academy is making Khanmigo. That's more for like students. We're going to start to see a lot more large language models that are narrowed down to our area of expertise. And then that's going to really be helpful, because when you want to ask it a leadership question or a teaching question, it's going to have the knowledge base that we would probably more likely have than the wild, wild west of the information. So it's growing. There's not anything I would recommend right now specifically for that, but I'd say within a few months, I bet there will be.
So Alana, let's talk about what are some of the ethical considerations that would you would tell a teacher or a school that is really thinking about banning AI? Because you know what? We sometimes fear what we don't know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that again. We fear what we don't know.
Mhm.
And until we can engage it and until it can become part of our daily practice, it becomes a change from the norm. So again, once people start talking about banning it, what
Yeah.
immediately comes into your mind and how that's going to work conversely about
Yeah.
helping kids?
So like I talked a bit before about the digital divide. So that's, we really just want students to be successful. And I think that banning it is not helping them be successful when they graduate. But also I think that what we do need to teach them is like that AI literacy and responsible use. So we need to make sure that they know how to fact check, like, right? Like they wouldn't just Google something and trust it. You need a reliable resource to back it up. So if they're going to use AI, that's fine. Make sure that they have a reliable resource to back up the information. But I think, when Google came out or Wikipedia came out, well, people were like, "Oh, Wikipedia is not a reliable resource." Like, "Oh, the kid just gonna Google the question." We used to say, if a question's Googleable, it's not a good question. Well, now, like, if the assignment is ChatGPTable or AIable, it's just not a good assignment. So we need to really rethink assignments, but we also, going back to the banning and the cheating and all the bias, we need to teach students how to use it the right way so that they can really just be successful humans in the world.
Thank you.
Um,
Hey, I don't know. It's raining guests today. Hey, Coach.
It is.
Hey, Doc Jackson, welcome for being here. Vincent Stallings for being here. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Part of this AI. I knew it was gonna be a big pop today because you know what? There are a lot of questions out there, and
yeah.
just like Principal Confellas just said, you know what? Yeah, it's kind of hard to sell people that have been doing this trajectory. But you guys, I see it in your eyes. I'm looking at you, Alana. You're
Mhm.
like, how can you not? I
Yeah.
could imagine. It's kind of like the CD people. Why are you still on the Walkman? Or the download people on the CD? Why are you still doing that? I
Yeah.
got you. Well, and obviously, we'll carry this on for the Red Zone on Wednesday. And so, my question to you is this: what can we do at a comprehensive school like Dean? Not so much the school where I support kids,
Okay.
but a comprehensive school like Dean. What do we need to do to educate them? We know what to do to educate them on social media because
Mhm.
we learned that the hard way, correct? What do we need to do as educators, as administrators, and central office? Because it takes a whole group
Yeah.
for AI, the pros and the cons. What do we need to do?
I mean, I think step one is we need to use it before we can use it with our students, right? Like you can't you can learn and grow with your students. I really believe you can do that. But if they're using it and you're not and you don't really understand it, I think you just need to educate yourself. You need to try it. I think, like failing is okay. First attempt in learning, like learn, grow, try it. If it doesn't work, try it again. Look at I've been trying. So with my podcast, I've been interviewing thought leaders. My most recent one, I need to post it. It's edited. Interviewed Microsoft Education's Chief Innovation Officer, and I've been looking at like thought leaders, but I'm now looking also towards practitioners and seeing like what's actually going on in the classroom. Because my most listened to episode is AI in the classroom, and it's from a teacher. So I think that's what people really want to hear is what's going on in the classroom. So I think really just finding people that are using it and learning from them what they've tried, what works, what doesn't work. That will help you understand it a bit more. I think just having the conversation. So what I would say to a school district is have the conversations at the central office level, at every level. And that's kind of like with my book, I wrote a whole section called asking difficult questions and having difficult conversations. And I have a lot of scenarios in there. And what I tried to do was like, there's like a lot of little like workbook pages. I tried to do that because I told you I initially wrote it for a leader, but I really wanted the school leader to be able to sit down with their staff and have these conversations. And you don't need to be a leader. You could just be an educator, like reflecting on this or having conversations with colleagues. But I think you need to start talking about it. Even if you're not using it, you need to start talking about it. And I think that's the only thing we can do.
All right, we're not done with that book. Hold that up again for a second, because I want you to really dig into your heart and your soul for a second, and the purpose and why you put those hours in there. Just take us through a short journey of it, okay? From the front cover to the back cover. Just talk about some of the high points in it.
Okay. So let me just maybe look at the table of contents. Well, my favorite part that I want to show you was I made this passport to success, and I thought of the skills that a student would need to be successful in the world. So that's my favorite part. But let me just look at the table of contents so I know where I'm going with it. No, but I think for me it was demystifying AI. I think people didn't understand what this is, what this means, and helping them really just demystify it. It's not a how-to book. You're not gonna get like a list of 50 prompts. It's really just helping you understand what it is, what it means, and how you can use it. Like ideas of how to, not like I'm not giving you lesson plan examples or a tutorial. It's a why, more of a why book than a how book. And I help you really reflect on your own practice and think about maybe I call it the generative age. So we take a journey through the generative age. And so just so you understand what the title means, generative artificial intelligence is a type of AI, and it generates content, hence generative AI. So I really just wanted to bring my readers up to speed into the world we're living in today. I'm helping them understand how they can use it in their own work and how they can use it with their students. I helped really, like, I have a chapter called Decoding Dishonesty. I really don't like the word dishonesty. I really try to focus on academic integrity and creating class rules. I had a conversation with ISTE's CEO, Richard Collada, who really helped me rethink about education altogether and rewrite the book through that lens, focusing on the positive. Look at your school policies, look at your class policies, that's in the book. Count the number of don'ts, count the number of do's. Why is it a laundry list of don'ts? Rewrite it and reframe it to the positive. Tell students how you do want them to use it. It's going to vary from school to district to district, state to state, school to school, class to class, teacher to teacher, assignment to assignment. Basically, the rule is, how am I allowed to use it on this assignment? And just making sure that each teacher sets clear boundaries for the assignment with their students, and just transparency. And then I have a whole section, which is my favorite chapter, called Rebooting Education. So just taking things that we know work and just looking at them with a different spin, like the Sammer model, Bloom's taxonomy, UDL, flipped classroom, project-based learning, design thinking, like all the things we know and learn. And I put a lot of pop quizzes in there to help them reflect along the way. I try to make it super interactive because I think that's what will make it more interesting and more fun. And then I do have a whole section there for professional learning. If someone doesn't know how to roll it out to their teachers, I put 4 case studies in there for you as well.
Yeah, we're going to ask you to send a picture of that. I'm going to post that out the front of the book. Where can everybody buy your book? Where can they access it? Talk to us about where that's found.
It's on Amazon. It's also on Connect Ed, Jimmy's website. So either one of those places.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. So we're going to make sure you send us a picture of the copy of it, everything. That'd be great, because what will happen is we'll get that out for you as well.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Great stuff right there.
Josh, I think you need to read it.
Josh does need to read it. We're going to do a book study, Josh.
Yeah.
Book study.
Yeah.
Hey, Alana, one thing I'm 100% is honest. And, you're right. I'm very deficient in this topic. Hence and purpose, this show right here. Because you know this, Alana, working in all areas and with so many districts, there are a lot more of us than there are of you, because of the fear of the unknown, or just not having or finding the time. If we really want to do something in a relationship, in work, we can find the time to educate ourselves.
Right.
So the whole thing is, I concur, I agree. And look at this is the most feedback, just so you know, this is the most feedback and guests we've had participating in the show.
I'm honored. I'm so honored.
It's so relevant.
Thank you, everyone.
Because it is. And so just and you know what? I want to bring this up because Dean is such a wizard at this. He created Wednesday show to be the AI show with 5 other AI experts to bring it to everybody. So all of you here tonight, join us on Wednesday for the Red Zone show. because we're going to break this down even further for cavemen like me that are out there. So join us this Wednesday for the second part. This is kind of like the little appetizer of knowledge.
Ooh.
And Wednesday we'll go deeper with 4 other guests and Alana. So Alana, thank you very much for being here tonight. Dean, thank you for putting all this together. We appreciate it. And all the guests out there, thank you for being here. Martha Jackson, Kefe, Shika, Vincent, everybody for being here tonight. Let's go home, Dean Packer.
Absolutely, Alana. Thank you again. As Josh said, it's great to have your voice here embedded and unlock the middle, but more importantly, permeating out across the country right now, talking about the great stuff that we all are responsible for. And that is looking at the tools in front of our kids and allowing them to access them with the highest level of fidelity we possibly can as teachers and educators across the country. So thank you so much. Again, I'm going to ask you just to send us a picture of the front cover of your book. I want to get that out as we retweet out tonight. And I am super stoked for Wednesday. We're going to blow this up. I think we're going to have a roundtable that we're going to be drowning in AI with life preservers around everybody, man. That just is so good.
Hey, Dean, with all that Perkins money, send me a defibrillator. I might need it, man. With all this knowledge, my heart might stop.
I'll talk to my vocational director and see what I can get for you, okay? Nonetheless, just such a great topic tonight. Thank you so much for sharing. Looking forward to Wednesday night. Alana, I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds. Just one last little bit about AI and why. Why?
Why? Because the kids are using it anyway. So we need to just catch up to speed, use it with them and help them use it the right way. Like that is our job as educators, is to prepare students to be successful in their future. So we need to teach them how to use it the right way. That's really it.
There it is, right there in a snapshot. Thank you so much, Alana. Thank you, Josh. Once again, another Sunday night in the books, and we are just cranking it out. All good things each week and every week. There it is. Start us up, finish us off. Alana Winnick, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday night. Everybody from Unlock the Middle, have a great week with your kids. And please stay tuned for Wednesday night. Take care, everybody.